Hi. So I haven't actually just done a full food log for you guys on here, so I thought I'd just walk you through what my day today has been, which is fairly typical. It varies a little bit here and there, but I thought it would be a good way to kind of show you how I eat, what I eat, how I get my proteins in, and I'll be honest, that's my biggest struggle is the proteins. So here's what I have to do, and sorry, you probably hear the kids talking in the other room. For breakfast, now I teach 4 mornings a week. I teach a class because I'm not an early riser, and I have slow digestion with some stuff, especially if it's heavy. I don't like to eat before I work out, but I do like to have coffee. Now, I know for a fact I do not require coffee to go about my day. I have done this. I've experimented with cutting coffee out completely, cutting caffeine out. I don't need it. So I'm not like, I must have my coffee to live. But I like a warm beverage in the morning, even when it's hot outside. It's just soothing and comforting, and I like it. So I make, it's kind of like a Bulletproof Coffee if you've heard of those, but I'm going to give you a little rundown. So I have a Keurig back over there. I make my coffee. I put it into the Vitamix blender. I already talked about how important a Vitamix blender is. And I add some fat, some prebiotic fiber, and some protein into it. So I'm going to show you, because I happen to have it out. I use the Bulletproof Brain Octane MTC oil. I put a tablespoon of this into the coffee in the blender. I only do 1 scoop at a time, but I do like the Bulletproof brand, I'm sorry. I use the Interfuel Prebiotic. So it's basically like some fiber. It's pretty much all it is. It dissolves right into it. You don't even know it's there. So it doesn't change the flavor, doesn't change the consistency or anything. I will occasionally, not every single time, but I do sometimes add a little, maybe a quarter to a half tablespoon of ghee into it. Now, I happen to like this ghee. This one does have Himalayan pink sea salt in it, so it does have a little bit of saltiness, but I like that. It gives, a little savoriness, I guess, maybe a little mix of kind of a, salt or a sweet and savory in it. So it's good. It is a lot of fat going into that, but part of that is fuel. This fat is fueling. It's good for the brain. It does give my body a easily digestible fat that I can use to help sustain me through the workout, because I cannot sit down and have a full meal. I've even tried like a snack bar, kind of like a protein bar or a little, some kind of little bar in the morning, and it doesn't sit well, it doesn't digest fast enough, and then I feel like I'm gonna, bring it back during the workout. No. So that's, and then I also put in collagen protein into the coffee. So I'm getting 20 grams of protein plus the prebiotic fiber plus the super healthy fats in there. So it's a good calorie bomb coming in before I go teach class. I don't typically finish the whole thing before I teach class, but that's how I start. And then after I've taught, then I have breakfast. And today breakfast was 1 egg and a paleo bagel. Now the paleo bagel, I mentioned these before. I really like them because I've got rice on the stove. They are grain-free. They're delicious. They're a small portion. So that was my official breakfast. Then snack-wise, I haven't had all my snacks, but snack-wise, I do the Paleo Valley turkey stick or beef stick. I mentioned those in the snack video. I posted a link as well. And then I also do usually a protein shake. So because I know I struggle to get enough protein in, I mix my proteins. We have a bunch of different ones that we use. My boys drink a shake at night with the protein powder and vegetables and stuff in it. So Naked, you'll see this. Jason probably will talk about this. They have a bunch of different ones. I do the pea proteins. This one is actually like a hot cocoa flavor, so it's got a little extra sweetener and stuff in it. It's not just pea protein. But I also have the just naked chocolate pea protein as well. And then I found that I like this egg white protein. It also has some digestive enzymes in it, which is good. So I mix the two of them together. It is a big, powerful punch of protein, I'm not gonna lie. But like tonight I teach a class at 6 o'clock, so I'll have that an hour or so in advance of teaching class, and that'll help sustain me through until dinner afterwards. Lunch was a big salad. I mean, and we're talking big. I'll post a picture of it. It was a big salad, but it was mostly lettuce, shredded carrots, a little bit of black beans that I happen to have. And then I used, because it was the only convenient protein I had today, I used a, losing my mind, a ham. Sliced ham. It was a deli ham. Now, I know, again, Jason mentioned deli meats are inflammatory and they can be bad. It's not something you want to use as a staple in your meals every day. But if you are going to purchase or eat deli meats like that, look for the brands that have that are low on preservatives. They don't have the nitrates and all that kind of stuff added. And I like... I'm not going to show you my fridge because it is not organized and pretty. I like, if I'm going to buy them, this Applegate brand. It's got the humanely raised. We like that. There's no antibiotics. It's gluten-free, casein-free, which is important. It's not preserved, so it doesn't have all those additives in it that make the processed meats so much more inflammatory. Again, it's not something I want to eat every day, but we cleared out all of our leftovers and I haven't cooked anything yet. So I needed some protein. So it's a good thing to have on occasion. Turkeys, chicken, the ham, it's a good option. So that was my my salad. And then for dinner, I'm going to be prepping chicken because the kids don't eat fish, but I also have wild-caught Alaskan cod that I will cook, which is so super fast and easy to make. And I mean, literally you can do anything with it. And then I'm prepping right now some of my other options. So I probably need to turn this down more. I might ignore the mess. This is rice. I have, it is a brown basmati rice. I like basmati rice. I like to cook it in advance, let it cool down in the fridge, and then just gently reheat it when I'm ready to actually eat it. One, it's a great way to meal prep, have a bulk prep, as I like to call it, because I'm making I did a whole cup of rice, which, that's several meals for us. But by cooking it, cooling it, and then eating it, you get the resistant starch in it, which is really good for the gut. It's kind of like those prebiotics, fiber getting into the gut, helping to, push out the bad bacteria, feed the good bacteria, and make everything in there happy. Another tip, which this may end up being more of a snack than part of my dinner, because I think we're going to have broccoli, which again, so many good things about having broccoli, prebiotic, prebiotics, fiber, nutrients, all that good stuff in there. I want to keep saying postbiotic, but that's the lotion that I bought from this place. That's not what I was trying to say. This right here. So we've talked about, some people have mentioned having a sweet tooth. And, sometimes after dinner, you want something sweet. And I'm not going to lie, I am that same way. I get a sweet tooth and I just want something sweet. I don't need a dessert. I just want a little something to kind of curb that craving. So what I have here, I have, it was already pre-cut butternut squash because, it's a pain to cut and peel and all that stuff, a butternut squash. Let's be honest. The other thing, the white part here is a green apple. So this was one of those happy mistakes one time. I don't think I mentioned it in the other video, but I sometimes get stuff from Hungry Root, and they deliver to the door. It's a subscription thing, which sometimes can be a pain in the butt because I don't need it every week and I forget to cancel and stuff like that. So be cautious if you're going to look into Hungry Root, but they do have some really good stuff. And one of that was, I got it's like roasting vegetables, I think was what it was called. And it was butternut squash and apples and onion, and there was some like thyme or something in there. It was so good. so good when I cooked it up. I'm like, this needs to become a regular for me. So I have actually in a previous life used butternut squash and apple as dessert. So I like it roasted up, get that little bit of caramelization on there. And then, you can eat it savory, salt, garlic, whatever you want to put on it, or you can make it more of a dessert. I've done this with a breakfast as well. So it's a really good option, but I like Flavor God. This is the buttery cinnamon roll. This for me is kind of a lifesaver when it comes to the sweet tooth thing. And Flavor God, like these seasonings, this one, and there's one that's called chocolate donut seasoning. I think I have an empty one here. This is actually what I put in my coffee to give it a little bit of a sweetness. It's 1/4 of a teaspoon as a serving. So it's not a lot for a serving, but it's basically 0 fat, less than 1 carb, less than 1 sugar, 0 protein. So as long as you're not like dumping a whole thing into, you're not getting a lot, but there's good flavor. So this is a good way for oatmeal, for that hemp oats that I did the other day. These are good ways to season, flavor it up a little bit without adding too much excess and a lot of sugars. So I like to dump a little bit of that onto those, kind of make it like dessert. You could toss a few nuts in there or some coconut. Really good. It's healthy. It's a slow carb. It's going to give you, and the tart apples, you want to go towards the tart, the green apple. It's going to roast better, because those are the ones made for cooking. It's not giving you a bunch of excess sugars in it. But it's a really good combo. And if you wanted to go savory, cut up some purple onion and throw that in there when you're roasting it. So it gets, a little caramelization, nice and soft. If you can eat onions, it's a good option. So real quick recap. I'm trying to go too fast here. I do the coffee in the morning with the fat and the prebiotic in it. I do a breakfast, an actual breakfast meal after I work out. So, eggs and the bagel, or sometimes it's oatmeal or yogurt, something along those lines. Some kind of, it's always for me, I love breakfast food. So it's a typical breakfasty type meal. And I love eggs. Lunch was a big salad today because I had this stuff available. It's delicious. Salads can be really, really good. So I had a nice salad today. And then for dinner is going to be chicken for the kids, fish for the adults, the rice with the resistant starch, probably some of the butternut squash as kind of a dessert, and broccoli. And then and the snacks, and I'm pretty close at that. I'm almost to I think I'm almost to the protein goal with that. I have to look at it again. But that is a typical day meals for me. Again, it varies slightly, but it's kind of that same pattern of how I eat. So if you have any questions, anything about what I'm preparing or things that I've talked about, feel free to reach out, and I will see you guys next time.